February 24th, 2026. Mobile, Alabama. A 895-foot ship, 50 years old, freshly pulled from dry dock, backs out of her slip into the morning fog. Her hull displaces 90,000 tons of water. Red crosses mark her bow and sides. She's a hospital. She's a weapon. And right now, no one knows where she's going. 3 days ago, the President of the United States posted this. We're going to send a great hospital boat to Greenland to take care of the many people who are sick and not being taken care of there. The internet exploded. Diplomats shrugged. Greenland's prime minister fired back in under 24 hours, and maritime experts, the people who actually know these ships, went very, very quiet. Because here's what the headlines aren't telling you. Both of America's hospital ships are broken. Right now, the USNS Mercy, the ship you just watched leave Alabama, finished an emergency dry docking after her ballasting system failed. Her toilets failed. Her entire sanitation infrastructure had to be rebuilt at a cost of $19 million. The USNS Comfort? She arrived in Alabama in mid-January for a repair job that won't finish until April, at a cost of $16 million. That's $35 million in emergency fixes, and neither ship has started its actual scheduled overhaul. Mercy's major overhaul at Vigor Marine in Portland, Oregon. $90 million. 185 days of work. Start date, March 20th, 2026. That's 3 weeks from today. The last time these two ships were in the same place at the same time was 1991, in the Persian Gulf during a war. So why can't the ship just go to Greenland? Here's why. Mercy draws 32 feet of water. 32 feet. Most of Greenland's ports are carved from Arctic fjords with 20, maybe 25 feet of depth. The math doesn't work. It's late winter. The pack ice is at its annual peak. The United States has not a single operational icebreaker capable of escorting a vessel this size through those waters. Any patient who needs to reach Mercy wouldn't walk up a gangway. They'd be airlifted by helicopter in sub-zero winds over open Arctic water to a ship that's doing lazy circles offshore because she can't get any closer. And she's not ice-rated. She was built for the Persian Gulf. So why did this happen? Why did the president announce this? 3 days before the post, a U.S. Navy submarine, the USS Delaware, was operating just 7 nautical miles off Greenland's capital, Nuuk. A sailor got sick. A Danish Seahawk helicopter flew out. The sailor was transferred to a Greenlandic hospital. The same public health system whose prime minister was about to tell Washington, we have a system where treatment is free for citizens. It's a deliberate choice. Whether that single medevac triggered the presidential post, we don't know. But there are no coincidences in geopolitics. Here's what's actually at stake. Greenland is not a healthcare story. It never was. Greenland sits on top of the world's fastest opening shipping corridor. The Arctic route that cuts 4,000 miles off the journey from Asia to Europe. The nation that controls Greenland's ports controls the choke point. Russia knows it. They're running a fleet of 40-plus icebreakers, including nuclear-powered vessels that can crack through 10 feet of solid ice. China knows it. They've pumped billions into Arctic infrastructure investments, declared themselves a near-Arctic state, and are signing resource agreements across the high north. And America? America is announcing a hospital ship mission that experts say physically cannot succeed while the world watches. And that's the part of this story that should keep you up at night. Because the hospital ship problem isn't unique. It's a symptom. Last month, the USS Abraham Lincoln, a nuclear aircraft carrier, conducted its combat readiness training off the West Coast. It needed an oiler, a tanker, a ship to refuel it at sea. There was none available. Military Sealift Command, the logistics arm that keeps the entire U.S. Navy moving, is so short of civilian mariners that it had to deactivate the first 4 expeditionary fast transport ships. Vessels built just 10 years ago, because it couldn't crew them. Those ships are being scrapped, not 10 years into their service life. The world's most powerful navy cannot find enough sailors to crew its own support ships. Here's what it would actually take to send Mercy to Greenland. Activating a hospital ship from layup takes 5 days minimum. On day 1, you call in 70 civilian mariners. but you only have 15 to 20 on board in preservation status. On day 2, you pull doctors, nurses, and corpsmen from Bethesda and Portsmouth, and you probably start activating reserve medical units. On day 3, you load perishable pharmaceuticals, surgical supplies, and blood products. You fuel the ship. On day 4, you pray the ballasting system, the same one that just got $19 million of emergency repairs, holds. On day 5, if Mercy leaves Alabama today and turns north, she cannot reach Portland, Oregon by March 20th. That $90 million contract triggers penalty clauses. American taxpayers pay. There is a solution. Right now, a new class of ship, the National Security Multi-Mission Vessel, is being built at Philadelphia's Hanwha shipyard. Each one costs $300 million and can be converted into a hospital ship in months. Build 3 more. Convert them. Rotate them on the Navy's standard 1/3 cycle, 1 deployed, 1 returning, 1 preparing. You never again find yourself announcing a mission that your only 2 aging ships can't complete. We've had the blueprint. We've had the shipyard. We've just never had the political will. Until a president posts about Greenland and the entire world realizes that the gap between American announcement and American capability has never been wider. As of today, USNS Mercy is out there. She's past Fort Morgan. She's in the Gulf of Mexico, doing slow circles, waiting for orders. She could turn south for the Florida Straits, load at Norfolk, and make the Arctic run, a mission that would strain every limit of her 50-year-old hull. She could turn west for the Panama Canal, head up the Pacific, and arrive in Portland on March 20th as contracted. Or she could just keep circling, a $109 million metaphor for the gap between what America says it can do and what it can actually do. The ice doesn't care about announcements. The Arctic doesn't wait for press releases. And right now, somewhere in the Gulf of Mexico, a 50-year-old ship is trying to figure out which direction is home. Stop the tape. Since we filmed this video, the story has moved, and where it's moved tells you everything you need to know about the gap between political theater and operational reality. As of 0930 Eastern Time on February 26th, the latest AIS data from USNS Mercy clearly shows the hospital ship underway toward the Yucatan Channel, almost certainly headed for the Panama Canal. Not Norfolk, not Nuke, not the Arctic. The Panama Canal, her heading 161 degrees south-southeast. Her speed 10.8 knots, steady, committed, going the wrong direction entirely if Greenland was ever the plan. And then this dropped. The Wall Street Journal reported that U.S. officials never issued any orders to send a hospital ship, including USNS Mercy, to Greenland. Despite the president's post saying it was on the way, the Pentagon never issued orders. The President of the United States posted, with exclamation points, that a hospital ship was on the way to Greenland. And the actual Navy? Operational planners were as surprised as anyone reading the post. This isn't spin. This isn't partisan framing. This is the AIS transponder, the same technology that tracks every commercial vessel on Earth, telling the world in real time what the orders actually are. And the orders say, Portland, Oregon, March 20th, 9 months of maintenance, end of story. Now think about what this means geopolitically, because our adversaries aren't reading social media posts. They're reading AII's data. Russia has for the first time conducted 3 simultaneous LNG ship-to-ship transfers in Arctic waters, a move highlighting Moscow's increasingly sophisticated logistics network for exporting gas, despite Western sanctions. While American hospital ships circle in the Gulf of Mexico waiting for orders that never come, Russia is executing complex multi-vessel Arctic operations in winter, at scale, under sanctions pressure. That's the real headline. Not whether Mercy turns left or right at the Yucatan Channel. And Greenland noticed. Prime Minister Nielsen said, President Trump's idea of sending an American hospital ship here to Greenland has been noted. But we have a public healthcare system where treatment is free for citizens. That is a deliberate choice and a fundamental part of our society. Please talk to us instead of just making more or less random statements on social media. Dialogue and cooperation require respect for the fact that decisions about our country are made here at home. That statement just became the defining diplomatic quote of this entire episode. Because Mercy's southbound AIS track vindicates every word of it. Here's the new conclusion of this story, and it's more important than the original one. New hospital ships are coming. 3 vessels under an $867 million contract. The Bethesda-Class Expeditionary medical ships. Smaller than Mercy and Comfort. 4 operating rooms instead of 12. 124 beds instead of 1,000. But built on catamaran hulls that can actually access shallower ports. They are coming. But they are years away. In the meantime, America's entire hospital ship capability. 2 aging converted tankers. One headed for a 9-month overhaul, one still in dry dock, has just become a live demonstration of the distance between presidential declaration and naval reality. The world's most powerful military announced a humanitarian mission. The ship turned south. The Pentagon stayed silent. And the AIS tracker told the truth that the press release didn't. USNS Mercy is headed for Portland, Oregon. Greenland is on its own. And somewhere in the Yucatan Channel tonight, a 50-year-old ship is doing exactly what it was scheduled to do all along. As if the last week never happened. The ice doesn't care about announcements. If this video opened your eyes to what's really happening beneath the headlines in global shipping and naval power, hit the like button. It takes 2 seconds, and it tells YouTube this story is worth sharing with more people. If you're new here, subscribe. We cover the ships, the routes, the geopolitics, and the money that moves the world's cargo, and we do it without the noise. Every week, something in global shipping is shifting. You'll want to know about it before everyone else does. And drop a comment below. Do you think America will ever modernize its hospital ship fleet? Or are we watching a slow-motion capability collapse in real time? The people who watch this channel know things. Let's hear it. We'll see you on the next one.